The day I came home early from Dubai, it was raining. Not the soft kind that makes you want to curl up with coffee, but the angry, slapping rain that soaks through your clothes before you can even find shelter. I remember thinking it was ironic, the weather matching the storm I'd just walked into. I hadn't told Jessica I was coming back early. I wanted to surprise her. Our 5-year-old Liam had been staying with her parents while I was gone, and I'd pictured us reuniting as a family. Maybe order takeout, watch one of Liam's Disney movies, and just breathe again after 4 months apart. But when I unlocked the front door, the house felt wrong. Quiet in a way that wasn't just empty. No shoes by the door. No half-finished mug of tea on the counter. Just a stale, closed-up smell. Like no one had lived here in weeks. Then I saw the envelope. It was sitting on the kitchen island, crisp and official, with divorce stamped in block letters across the top. My hands shook opening it. Irreconcilable differences. That's what she'd written. Clean. Clinical. Like our marriage was a spreadsheet she'd decided to delete. But underneath the paperwork was a note in her handwriting. Messy, hurried, like she'd scribbled it while crying. Mark, I never meant for this to happen. I fell for someone else. I'm so sorry. Please don't hate me. Jess, I read it 3 times. Then I called her, straight to voicemail. Texted her. We need to talk, now. Nothing. I wandered through the house like a ghost. Our bedroom still had the lavender-scented candle she loved on the dresser. Liam's toys were neatly packed in bins, gathering dust. The framed photo from our wedding day, me laughing as she tried to smash cake in my face, stared back at me from the nightstand. How long had this been going on? A week passed. Radio silence. Then last night the doorbell rang. She stood there in the downpour, mascara streaking her cheeks, her hair plastered to her face. Mark, she choked out. I'm so sorry. It was a mistake. He was a mistake. Please, let's fix this. I didn't let her in. Couldn't. Just stood there gripping the doorframe, my throat tight. Fix what, Jess? You filed for divorce. You left me. You left Liam. She flinched. I never wanted to hurt him. I'll do anything, Mark. Counseling. Whatever you need. Just don't give up on us. I closed the door. Now I'm sitting here at 3 a.m., replaying every moment from the last year. The late-night work calls she took in the garage. The weekend girls' trips she suddenly started taking. How she'd flinch when I touched her shoulder. But here's the thing, Reddit. I still love her. Or maybe I love who she was. The woman who held my hand through 2 miscarriages before Liam was born. Who sang off-key to Disney songs while making pancakes. Who swore she'd never become her parents. Who divorced bitterly when she was 12. And then there's Liam. He's been asking for her every night. When's Mommy coming back? He whispered yesterday, clutching his stuffed dinosaur. What do I even say? But this morning, I found something. While cleaning out the laptop we shared, I opened her email. I wasn't snooping, I swear. I was just looking for Liam's pediatrician's number. There it was. A thread with Jake. My Jake. The guy who stood next to me at our wedding, Jessica, sent 2 months ago. I can't keep lying to him, he'll hate me. Jake, reply. He'll get over it. We're worth it, Jess. I threw up in the kitchen sink. The words on the screen burned into my retinas. We're worth it, Jess. Jake's name glared back at me, a punch to the gut. I gripped the edge of the counter, my vision swimming. The room tilted, and for a second, I thought I'd pass out. Instead, I lurched to the sink, heaving until there was nothing left but bile and rage. Jake. My college roommate. The guy who'd borrowed money from me when his dad died. Who'd slept on our couch for a month after his breakup. Who'd held Liam the day he was born, grinning like an uncle. I didn't realize I'd punched the wall until pain shot through my knuckles. The dent in the drywall stared back at me, crooked and raw, like our marriage. The confrontation. I drove to Jake's apartment at 4 a.m. Pounded on his door until he answered, bleary-eyed and shirtless. Mark? What the f... I shoved the printed emails into his chest. How long? He scanned the pages, his face paling. Listen, man, it's not what you— How long? A neighbor's porch light flicked on. Jake stepped back, running a hand through his messy hair. 2 months after you left for Dubai. It just happened. Bullshit. Nothing just happens. My voice cracked. You knew I was struggling out there. You FaceTimed me every damn week, asking if I was okay. And the whole time, she was lonely, he snapped. You were gone, Liam was at her parents', and she was drowning. I was trying to help her, and then it got complicated. Complicated? I laughed, bitter. You slept with my wife, in my house, in our bed? He didn't answer, just stared at the floor. Did you love her? The question slipped out, quiet and pathetic. His silence was worse than a yes. The other woman Jessica called 17 times the next day. I finally picked up. Mark, please, let me explain. Explain what? That you replaced me with Jake? That you let him around our son? It wasn't like that. Her sob crackled through the speaker. I was lost. You were always gone, even before Dubai. Work trips, late nights. I felt invisible. Jake was just there. It didn't mean anything. You filed for divorce, Jess. You gave up. Because I panicked. I thought, you'd never forgive me, so I ran. But I regret it, every second. I closed my eyes. The Jess I knew didn't run. She fought. When we lost the baby at 14 weeks, she screamed at the doctors, at God, at me. But she didn't run. Who are you? I whispered. The photo Liam came, home the next day. Jessica dropped him off, her eyes pleading as I took his backpack. Daddy, Mommy says you're sad. Want to see my dinosaur? He held up a crayon drawing, oblivious. Later, while he napped, I found an old photo album. Flipping through memories felt like picking scabs. There we were at the beach, Jess laughing in a sunflower bikini. At Liam's first birthday, frosting. Smeared on her nose, then a Polaroid fell out. Jess and Jake, at our BBQ last summer. His arm around her waist, her head tilted toward him. I'd taken the photo. Smile, losers, I'd joked. Had it started then? The text notification buzzed. Unknown number. Mark, this is Clara, Jake's ex. We need to talk. It's about Jessica. I stared at Clara's text, my thumb hovering over the screen. Jake's ex. The one who'd moved to Seattle after their breakup. The one he'd called crazy when she accused him of gaslighting her. Meet me at the coffee shop on Elm. Noon tomorrow, she'd written. I went. Clara was already there, tucked into a corner booth. Her hair was shorter now, dyed burgundy, but I recognized her sharp eyes. The ones that had glared at Jake the night they'd fought at our Christmas party. You look like hell, she said flatly as I slid into the seat. Thanks. You look taller. A flicker of a smile. She pushed a manila envelope across the table. Open it. Inside, screenshots of texts. Jake and Jessica. Jake, 5 months ago. Still think about that night in your garage. Jessica. Don't. Mark could have walked in. My coffee turned to acid in my throat. 5 months. 2 months before I left for Dubai. They've been lying to you, Clara said. It started way earlier. How'd you get these? Jake left his iPad at my place after we split. iMessages sync. She leaned forward. He's a narcissist. Mark. He targets people when they're vulnerable. After my mom died, he convinced me I was too unstable to live alone. Then he cheated on me. Why tell me now? Because Jessica called me last week. Crying. Said Jake threatened to tell you she seduced him unless she stayed with him. Clara's nails tapped the envelope. He's manipulating both of you. The ultimatum I drove to Jessica's parents' house. She was on the porch swing. Liam asleep in her lap. You lied, I said, throwing the envelope at her feet. It wasn't 2 months. It was 5. She went still. Who told you? Does it matter? I scooped up Liam, his warmth a anchor against the fury. You let him around our son. You let him play uncle while you— I tried to end it. Her whisper was frantic. When you got the Dubai assignment, I told Jake it was over. But he said he'd tell you. He had photos. Photos. She covered her face. From the garage. I was drunk and I didn't know he took them. The world narrowed. Liam stirred in my arms, his breath soft against my neck. You're letting him blackmail you? I was scared. If you saw those pictures, you'd take Liam and leave, and her voice broke. I'd lose everything. The choice that night, Jake called. Clara's a liar, he said. She's obsessed with ruining my life. Then why'd Jess just confess? A beat. She's scared of you leaving, making up excuses. I hung up. Jessica's parents offered to keep Liam for the weekend. You two need to sort this out, her mom said, judgment clipped. We met at the house. Our house. Jess looked hollow. No makeup, hair in a greasy bun. What do you want me to say, Mark? That I'm a monster? Fine, I am, but I love you. And I'll do anything to prove it. I handed her a burner phone. Call Jake, right now. Tell him it's over, that you're choosing me, and if he leaks those photos, we'll sue him for revenge porn. Her hands shook. What if I walk, and I fight for full custody? She made the call. The trap Jake showed up an hour later, banging on the door, screaming her name. You don't get to dump me like trash, Jess. I opened the door, phone recording. Leave! He lunged at me. We crashed into the hall table, fists and curses. Jessica screamed. Then, a crash. Liam's snow globe, the one he'd bought her for Mother's Day, shattered on the floor. Jake froze, a shard of glass at his cheek. Get out, I said, blood dripping from my split lip. Or I press charges and send the photos to your boss. He left. The truth Jess bandaged my hand later, her touch too familiar. I'll go to therapy, alone and with you. I'll sign a postnup. Whatever you need. I pulled away. Why'd you file for divorce? She hesitated. Jake said you knew, that you'd found out and were divorcing me. He showed me fake texts from your number. And you believed him? You'd been distant for months. Her tears hit the table. When the papers came, I thought it was real. So I signed them to beat you to it. I almost pitied her. Almost. The letter today, I found a crumpled note in Liam's backpack. Daddy cries a lot. I miss Mommy's pancakes. Is it my fault? The therapy session Dr. Nguyen's office smelled like eucalyptus. Jess sat stiffly beside me, her knee bouncing. The therapist had framed quotes about growth and healing on the walls. I wanted to rip them down. Why are you here? Jessica? Dr. Nguyen asked. To save my marriage. Jess's voice was robotic, rehearsed. And you, Mark. To figure out if that's even possible. Jess flinched. The session unraveled like a bad sweater. Jess admitted she'd lied. About Jake's blackmail initially. I didn't want Mark to think I was weak. Weak? I laughed coldly. You cheated. You lied. You let him near our son. How is that not weak? Because I stayed, she shouted. I stayed when you checked out years ago, when work became your real family. Dr. Nguyen raised a hand. Let's focus on ownership. Jessica, do you believe your actions were justified? Silence. Then, a whisper. No. The pregnancy test 2 days later, Jess showed up at midnight, clutching a plastic bag. I'm late. The test sat between us on the bathroom counter. We stared at it like a live grenade. When? I asked. The last time before Dubai. Her cheeks flushed. But Jake and we used protection. But? The second line appeared. Positive. The fight. You expect me to believe it's mine? I paced the living room, hands trembling. It is yours, Jess pleaded. I'll do a paternity test, whatever you want. And if it's his? She froze. It's not. But if it is? Her silence was answer enough. Liam's nightmare. He woke up screaming. The dinosaur's eating Mommy. I rocked him back to sleep, his tears soaking my shirt. It's just a dream, buddy. But you and Mommy fight like monsters, he mumbled. Jess heard it from the hallway. I saw her shadow retreat. The photo leak a text from an unknown number. At 2 a.m., a grainy photo of Jess and Jake in the garage, her head on his shoulder. Tell her to drop the restraining order, or the rest go viral. The hospital. Jess collapsed at work. Stress, the doctor said. She needs rest. In the waiting room, her mom glared at me. "This is your fault. You broke her." I didn't argue. The ultimatum Jess gripped my hand in the hospital. "Bed. If the baby's his, I'll leave. You'll never see me again. But if it's yours, what? Fight for us." The paternity results. The envelope arrived on a Tuesday. I sat in my car outside the lab, gripping the steering wheel until my knuckles turned white. Inside, a single line. Probability of paternity, 99.999%. Mine. I didn't know whether to laugh or scream. Jess was waiting on the porch when I got home, her face pale. She didn't ask. Just stared at my hands. "It's yours," I said. She crumpled to her knees, sobbing. I told you. I told you." I didn't touch her. The leak Jake released the photos that night. One blurred shot of Jess in the garage, her face buried in his neck, made it to a gossip forum. Anonymous comments dissected her body, my marriage, our failed vanilla life. By morning, it was everywhere. Liam's preschool called. Another parent saw the photo. They're concerned. Jess smashed her phone against the wall. "I'll kill him. I'll kill him." The custody letter. Her parents' lawyer sent a demand. "Given Jessica's instability, we request temporary custody of Liam until proceedings conclude." Jess laughed, wild and unhinged. "My own parents think I'm a monster." "Are they wrong?" I asked. She flinched. The park Liam refused to swing. "Kids said mommy's a slut." I froze. "What's that word mean?" He kicked gravel. "Something bad." I carried him to the car, his tears hot on my neck. Jess was waiting with ice cream when we got home. He recoiled. "I don't want you." She fled to the bathroom. I heard retching. The apology Jake showed. Up with a black eye. "Clara's new boyfriend paid me a visit." I slammed the door. He stuck his foot in the jam. "I'm sorry, okay? I'll delete everything. Just call off your rabbit ex." "Or what?" He dropped his voice. "Jess came on to me first. That night in the garage, she said you hadn't touched her in months." I punched him. Again. Again. The blood Jess miscarried at 14 weeks. Same as the first time. She clutched my hand in the ER, screaming like she was being torn in half. "Don't leave me, don't leave me, don't leave me." I stayed. "The choice at sunrise," she whispered. "Let me go." "What?" "Divorce me. Take Liam. I'll sign whatever you want." Her IV drip hand trembled. "I'll always love you, but I'm poison." The monitor beeped. The divorce was finalized on a Thursday. Jessica didn't show up to court. Her lawyer handed me a note. "Tell Liam I'm sorry, and tell yourself I meant it when I loved you." 2 weeks later, her parents found her car abandoned near the coast. No body, no note. Just her phone left on the driver's seat, filled with unsent drafts to me. I wish I could go back to the airport. I'd hold you tighter. Liam's laugh is my favorite sound. Please don't let him forget me. I'm so tired, Mark. The police called it probable drowning. I called it guilt. 5 years later, Liam is 10 now. He has her smile, her stubbornness, her habit of humming Disney songs when he's nervous. He doesn't mention her much, but he keeps that crumpled dinosaur drawing in his backpack. "Just in case," he says. I remarried last year. Claire's a librarian, quiet, steady. She doesn't try to replace Jess, just holds Liam when he wakes up, crying from nightmares he won't describe. Sometimes I drive past the old house. New owners painted it blue. They hung a swing set where our oak tree used to be. I wonder if they feel her ghost in the master bathroom. If they hear her laugh in the empty garage. I don't. The letter last month, a postcard arrived. No return. Address, just a beach sunset and 3 words. I'm still here. I burned it. This story wrecked me to write, but your support keeps me going. Let me know in the comments. Could you ever forgive a betrayal like this? And don't forget to check out my other videos. From toxic in-laws to wild DNA test reveals, I've got all the drama you crave. Thanks for watching. Stay strong out there.